It was a few months ago, Alas recalled. A diplomatic event at Solaris for the Dreamers tribe. She was the new Bloomtide, and the party was practically in her honor, so of course she was a little starstruck. The city certainly knew how to throw parties. She had wandered, shaking hands and learning names, her Thornbreaker, Mattie, by her side. She'd yet to elect her other two Thornbreakers, so it had just been her and Mattie, and it was great. Getting to dance with her and laugh with her like nothing mattered. They'd snuck away from the main party, giggling like children, going to explore Solaris' grand palace. They had met with a finely dressed boy while they were out. Mattie had been aggressive, hiding her own embarrassment of being caught behind brutal authority, but the boy hadn't been fazed. Snuck out, he asked. Me too. Fancy balls aren't exactly my thing. The boy was Uriha. For someone who was so finely clothed, he was startlingly good at seeming unimportant, considering his position. They had all sort of just clicked, talking, walking, and laughing together. That was when they came upon the red door. It had stood out in the hallway, a drifting moonbeam lighting it up in an ominous manner. They had dared each other to open it. In the end, it was Alas who had turned the handle, and with it, turned their life on its head. It was the door of Labyrinth, guardian of the catacombs and spirit of passage. They had played the Twisted Things games together, the first danger binding them together, as Uriha revealed himself as Adalaie, the heart of Enola Elgar Diana, and Alas shared her fears of leadership. They won and were flung into the Mirror Groves for their trouble. They made deals with creatures of the forest. Mattie used her experience befriending Livingwood to take charge. Imagine leadership flung on you as your mother dies, a party bright and grand and blinding in your honor, and then finding yourself facing off against creatures of nightmares, only to again find yourself flung into the middle of enemy territory. Alas had been terrified, full of fears and self-doubts, feeling as though Uriha and Mattie were doing all the work, then being caught and captured by candlings, and escaping, only to fight aggressive and deadly beasts of the forest. Then Mattie fell ill, poisoned by one of the exotic plants of the forest. It was one bad thing after another, each escalating to a point of no return. So by the time the silky smooth voice of Silvertongue spoke in her ear, she was desperate, feeling alone in her uselessness. She had fallen prey to his manipulations, becoming another one of his puppets in exchange for the antidote for Mattie. Once again, she had uselessly put her friends into more danger with hardly a thought, because she was envious. Envious of Mattie, who bore endless burdens, of Uriha, who hated his position and understood her aversion to her rule. She had felt powerful for a while, but she was tumbling in the wrong direction, and her friends had to fight Silvertongue himself to win back her soul, stealing an antidote in the form of an ancient incantation and the Fae's own blood mixed with a poultice. Mattie had lost a hand, replaced with her Livingwood, thankfully, but she was still a different animal than before. Uriha lost a bit of himself, having to take more of Diana's essence and power to survive the fight, becoming a different person entirely. They were all changed. Friendships and bonds fractured, barely escaping with their lives and souls intact. And now once more, danger followed her like a shadow. Shadowhunter knights, kingmakers, tribal politics. It wasn't enough that they had dealt a serious blow to one of the world's most frightening creatures. It wasn't enough that they'd stared death in the face and survived. No, it would never be enough, Alas thought. Because like it or not, chaos was now completely attached to them, and she would just have to deal with it.
It's a magical, mystical time. It's anecdotal adventures.
Hello, and welcome back to City of Mist, Kingmakers. I'm your Master of Ceremonies, Ashley, and these are my players. Matthias.
Small technical difficulty.
Small technical difficulties. Cassidy, played by Matthias, is in fact here. Or Matthias, played by Cassidy. Excuse me.
Is that better?
Got that back. Yes, there you go. Well, next up on the introductions.
All right. Hi, I'm Tele, and I am playing Adalaie, the Rift of Nemesis.
I am Sonya. I play Emma, the Rift of Athena.
I am Juno. I play Jane, the Rift of Hera.
Hello, I'm Simon. I play Aron Frankel, whose rift is King David.
And where we last left off. You guys just got at each other's throats. You met Elias and Melai, the Salbana, who asked to travel with you if you're going to take a faster path than walking to the border. So they got some free transportation out of this. And some free entertainment, a ride with the show, as you guys immediately begin talking about your deep personal secrets and history, and then conflict emerges, and that is where we last left off with a go toe-to-toe roll, which, thanks to the aid of most of the party, Matthias did eke out a victory on.
By one.
By exactly one. So, Matthias.
Yes.
Well, either way, you both, got a 10+. So, you both get to pick some stuff.
Look.
Go ahead and choose two. And Matthias, your move is dynamite, so give me just a second to look that up. For go toe-to-toe, you get all three of them.
Okay.
You don't have to pick. You get all of them.
What do I...
Oh, by the way, Matthias, exactly how many power did you add?
Oh, God.
I think I only added...
All of the things that you had?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way more than 6, right?
I didn't add Deafening Scream or Breath of Fire.
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad that you only left out 2 of those things. It's way more than 6.
I could get all 3. And instead,
but I took your weaknesses, unfortunately, Friendly Fire, so it's not a choice, is it?
No, it's not. Yeah, more than 6.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, Adalaie, you have an opportunity to defend yourself here. What are your 2?
What am I choosing from?
Go toe-to-toe. You manage to achieve your goal, e.g. take something they hold. You get them good, giving your opponent a status with tier equals power. You block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. If you don't choose this, they can impose a status on you.
I want to block.
Block their attempts. I'm going to just sort of reach around now.
Okay. Well, because Matthias won that, does succeed, and you do still get injured because of Matthias' weakness.
Oh, God.
I'm going to describe this scene as I'm just going to complicate things just a little bit. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Just the tiniest of bits.
I don't trust that.
Everything's on fire!
As you guys fight over Adalaie's stick of truth, and everyone else comes basically in a grand tug-of-war game to, tug on your... and help. Get the stick away from Adalaie. Matthias.
Oh.
Your blood rushes to your ears, and you feel hot, and before you even realize what you're doing, just everything is on fire.
Holy!
You manage to... You put it off really quickly because it is just like a moment of adrenaline of, I'm going to win, I'm going to be number 1, this is something that I can do. I'm being helped by all these people, I'm feeling great. You use your power, momentarily flaring it out. And I need everyone who gave Mattie a help point to take a tier, let's see, 2 status. I'll be nice. A tier 2 status, burnt.
Ow, 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 ow.
Ow.
Because this is a weakness, and Adalaie did choose to block it. She doesn't take anything.
Sticking out my tongue.
How much is tier 2?
Do you stick out your tongue at me?
Light it on fire.
This is the player. I'm sticking my tongue out at y'all.
Okay, I was like, Adalaie sticks out her tongue. Bitch slap. Cross the face.
We gotta go to toe again. Neither of you can add anything.
No,
So
I don't
how much
actually.
tier 2 burn? From like an ow, that stove was hot, or is it like, oh, my hand was on fire there for a second?
Just for a second, everything, like, you guys were, like, leaning up against Matthias, who suddenly, like, flared up with fire.
Okay, that was not pleasant.
It hurts. To put this in
Okay.
perspective, your knife wound was like a tier 2 status.
Oh my.
Ah.
Okay, I'll see you guys. I'll be in the corner.
Jane immediately heals herself. Can she do that?
And Hazel's gonna go around and just gonna touch people and heal them. Just the whole. Okay.
So,
give me a
Does
burn.
Matthias have the cane?
No.
Yep, yes.
It is a magic cane. If you take it from her, it will reappear.
Maybe what cost? Yeah, if your teammates got burned.
But you do succeed in stopping her from poking Jane.
Jane, go sit down over there, please.
As far away from her as possible. Ow, that hurt. Oh god.
Hazel walks over to you, Aron, here, and she'll heal you.
Oh, thank God.
Didn't we learn that this was not a good idea the last time it happened, and that one was my fault? Adalaie, I'm the dumb one.
Adalaie wasn't there for that. Kate says in the background.
Jane is going to look at Adalaie and she's like, look, you may think that the truth is important, but you don't know what you're getting into. And it's not your business, Adalaie.
Then tell her.
I will, but it is not the time or the place. Not when the child is gone. Not when we have a lot to deal with in another world.
And when are you gonna do it? Because we are gonna be stuck here for another who knows how long.
I don't know when, but when the time is right, I will tell her what she needs to know.
How bad is this? Is it like...
On a scale from 1 to 10, Felix says.
Yeah, I'm like a 1 being
like in affecting the group at large, like a 0. It doesn't affect us currently. But in like an emotional kind of way,
so like 1
got a solid 8 or 9.
10 being like, oh, this whole like 10 being like, oh god, my entire worldview's been shattered.
Okay,
Oh.
maybe an 11. Maybe
God.
an 11.
Oh my.
If you phrase it from the worldview being shattered perspective.
I just put like ears on. Oh my goodness. Oh, what do you people know?
But not right now, and especially not in front of you.
Okay, my goodness. I thought it was like something like not world shattering. Oh my, okay.
I have seen shit. I have heard shit.
Well, it's not your shit.
So
Well,
keep it to
neither
yourself.
should not be your shit either.
No,
He didn't.
but it is
see
right
it.
now. I didn't ask for this information to be dumped on me.
Shouldn't be your shit either, Jane.
I know, but I have to help my friend. Even if we hate each other sometimes and we get into a lot of disagreements, I probably know her better than all of the rest of you.
That is true.
I don't think the
I
rest of
don't
us know
want
her.
I don't want her world to get shattered.
And really, Emma, do you want to know what we know, like right now?
If it's going to shatter my worldview, I don't think right now is the best time to do that.
We're
Okay.
on the Saturn
And
world.
you can pick a time and we'll talk about it then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Going
Situation
to save
resolved.
a kidnapped child right now is not a good time.
Well, we're stuck in a bird. Or on a bird.
So that's why I have a new idea. I'd make basically.
That doesn't make it a good time.
So this is what I'm going to do. I make a little glowing square. Adalaie, you have to stay within this square. For the rest
She steps out.
She immediately steps out of the square.
I make another square. I like try to push you back into the square. You have to stay roughly in this square since you can't be trusted with anything important or anything sensitive. So stay in the
He's just
square.
gonna head out of the hammock and fly.
I guess that works too.
She's gonna be flying ahead of him.
Okay. You go do that.
Oh, damn.
And
Jane is going to be making sure that none of Jasper got burned.
Jasper's fine. He kind of seemed to like shapeshift fire resistant a little bit.
Knowing that there's a flaming human.
Caws back, and what is assumably it's all right.
other question, I find you.
Or maybe it's a no, it's not, and you should all get off my back. But you can't tell. None of you speak bird.
A better question. I didn't know you could like light. I thought it was like a glow. I didn't think you could actually light stuff on fire.
Oh yeah.
Neither did I. I thought
Wait,
it was only
what?
a breath thing.
Wait,
You did? Oh.
You didn't know that you could just light on fire completely?
Yeah, Matthias, you try.
combust?
You try to do that again, like you try to summon fire on your hands. You've never been able to do that. You've tried it often enough because you thought it would be cool to have like literal pyrokinesis, but it doesn't happen.
No,
It
I can
was
only
definitely
breathe fire.
That is so weird.
I mean, clearly you can do more. You just did.
Like, maybe it's situational.
At the moment, like a
Yeah,
drone.
but that was like, yeah, it was heat of the moment, and I injured 2 other people, so I'm like not a
3.
fan of that.
Heat of the
3 other
moment.
people.
3 other people.
So I imagine when we come to get your kid back and you burn down and you half the continent. By like this, like your angry levels.
If we don't get my kid back,
No, in the process, we're gonna burn down half the continent because you'll just be very angry with everyone.
Yeah. I'm hot-headed, but I haven't.
Like you weren't usually literally hot-headed.
Wow. Heat of the moment.
I don't even want to think about this scenario.
No, it's not. That's enough.
Yes, I made that pun on purpose.
Well, can we say that the problem is solved? We're no longer trying to strangle each other?
No.
And the night starts to fall, and everyone kind of goes off to sleep, except for Matthias, kids, and March, who are the
What about the
familiars.
glowing? What about the glowing thing? Has that gone away yet?
No, the basket's still there.
So what's our time at? What's our time at?
Like a day, 24 hours.
Huh.
Huh. Nice.
But in progress on your owl, Emma, you still haven't been able to find anything. The forest is large and surprisingly confusing. And occasionally you have to stop and hide in a tree because you see a monster that clambers around the forest, pushing down trees in its way.
And you
Breath
see a monster that only eats owls.
deep and hot and looks kind of terrifying.
If there's a monster that only eats owls, it would have been starving by now, I think.
It doesn't.
Considering my owl,
He's
like,
like, oh, it's
the
my
only
lucky
owl
day.
that's
Look, it's an
ever-
owl. I love owls.
And you see some weird creatures on your way through the forest.
They only
Can
eat
I
owls
try
that
to
are controlled
draw
by people
them?
named Emma.
Can I
They're
try
very
to draw them?
monsters.
Sure, they all, some of them are familiar, like black squirrels. Other of them are interesting, but seem amicable enough, like peaceful and
Giant.
wandering around the forest. Some of them look like really
Ready?
small elephants that float.
I'm sorry, what?
Do I see any
I said
living
it.
trees?
No, the living wood is in East Hollow, which is in the Belinaran dynasty.
Okay, no,
Okay.
wait, go back a few sentences. What?
Elephants
The
that
tiny elephants that float?
What is
Sounds
it?
adorable.
Yeah, they're kind of pinkish in color.
Well, Jane's gonna sit down and turn to everyone, and she's like, "Look, I know it's kind of cooled down now, but we really need to talk about this. I think we should make it a rule that between us, we shouldn't use each other's powers to pry into other people's minds without their permission. Like, we shouldn't
And
pry
that
into
means
each
both
other's
of you
minds.
as well.
Yes.
Can that include Felix in this conversation?
Yeah. I'm including everyone.
You did ask me to go into your head.
I know.
I was implicit.
I'm just saying you're one of the like 3 people here that can go.
I also agree. I do not want anyone I don't like poking around in my head, or anyone that I like you guys poking around.
Or influencing anyone and like trying to make them tell you something they don't want to tell you.
Or maybe we should just no powers in general, because like I don't want to get burned
maybe
alive either, or anything like that. That kind of seems bad.
So everybody who can do that, please sign this contract so they're not poking other people's minds.
And that's implicit unless it is detrimental or currently affecting the party in a really dangerous way.
Like
and then we solve it democratically.
I vote.
So
Yeah,
Aron,
everyone sort of
piece of paper. Anyone who can read minds, please sign this contract that you no longer do that, because that's not good.
I won't do it to people in our party.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Without permission.
That same stipulation, please.
All right.
Without permission.
You kind of try to sign the glow. It's hard to write on a very glowing thing
With a glowing piece of paper with a glowing pen.
Jane kind of just reaches in for her notebook, here.
So the ink is glowing the exact same shade as the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's doesn't always.
You can kind of see it if you shimmer it around a little bit. You can kind of see it.
Basically invisible ink.
Yeah, except everything, but it's not invisible, which is everything's the same color.
She has everyone sign on the readable sheet of paper because not knowing if his paper will disappear at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Adalaie isn't there to sign it.
She's not.
You can't read people's minds. You can just poke people and make them talk about themselves.
Yeah, but that also applies.
Mattie,
influencing other people without their permission.
I also don't want to be again, I think everyone should sign the contract. Just we agree not to use our powers on each other in general, unless it's
unless it's I agree.
Or
necessary.
Or it's Hazel's, which is healing powers. That seems pretty fair to just let her
just
do
to
that.
Clarify, nobody's been touching around with my brain, correct? That seems weird. I don't like that.
No, I've only went into Emma's, and that's because I was asked to.
Okay, nobody touched my brain. I enjoy it not being messed with, please.
Eventually, we are going to need to get Adalaie to sign this too.
I lean out. Adalaie, sign this piece of paper.
Maybe Kate grabs you and is maybe let her cool off a bit before we start in this conversation. You all got pretty heated there. And no one likes being ganged up on. Give some space.
You literally heated up.
Did not mean to make fun,
I
but
did.
thank you.
Which is really interesting. A mix of cool and also kind of creepy, because you didn't know you could do that.
So you can breathe fire, right?
Yep.
Ever roasted marshmallows over the fire?
So wait.
What do you think was the second thing I did?
Okay,
I had fire breath.
Do you like yours burnt or golden brown?
Golden brown.
So how
and then you pull
roast someone?
And then the onion. You like
onioning
onioning them? Yeah.
Yeah, you pull the outside layer off of it, eat it, and then you do the next layer golden brown, and you keep doing that until you don't have any marshmallow left.
I like how our team went from almost killing you, literally friendly fire, to talking about how we like our marshmallows in less than 5 minutes.
Yep, that's how this works.
It's called chilling.
Or it's called most of you being college students.
Or it's just the problem is currently flying the side of the raft.
Oof. So
she's gonna turn to Aron.
Throw in some shade.
Well, yeah, sensitive information, sensitive.
I'm glad that you all feel this way too.
Trust me, yeah.
I will really try not to use my powers on you guys, but you guys know there's backsplash. Fire.
The only
I
things
can't
I do can
it just
help
I
you.
added the stipulation accidentally, because my power occasionally has overload, so there's nothing I can do about that. But
all of my powers help you, and none of my powers can really backfire.
I mean,
either a
to the
shield or
extent of our
glowing.
ability.
Unless you count temporary blindness. Fun fact: glowing sunglasses do not work.
What if you get
Nor does glowing food, because my tooth can vouch for that. At least the part of it that's gone.
Do you have the rest of the chipped tooth? I'm sure we can
I
heal
don't
it or
have
something.
that is gone into the abyss.
Oh, okay. Well,
Glue his tooth back on.
magic heal his tooth on? I don't know. I could try.
Yes,
I'm not
I
Don't
could
touch
probably
my
manage
face.
something like that too. My powers are pretty
Don't touch my face.
broad.
Don't touch my face. Nobody touch my face.
Like again, permission.
They are technically bones. Yep.
Don't touch my face. I back up. Don't touch. I will make another.
Mattie reaches over and pokes Aron on the nose.
Don't touch my face.
Boop.
I just,
Right on the nose.
I just kind of like glare at him. I would poke you back, but I don't want to have my hand to get burned. So
I'm not toasty anymore. I'm not toasty anymore, right?
I like cautiously just like tap the side of your face.
Well, you guys are talking deep into the night.
don't
Adalaie,
mean
do you
that.
return to the bird, or are you determined to continue flying?
She's gonna keep on flying.
The salt levels are
then
too
we're-
much.
Yeah,
Then
that's
after a certain
exactly
time,
right.
Cades is going to transform into a butterfly, and he's going to fly up after you.
The salt levels are too high for birds.
None
Miss
of us are
Adalaie.
able to fly too.
Miss Adalaie, can you talk in your form?
What do you think, Butterfly Man?
Yes! That's good. I don't know, I just figured it's been a couple hours now, and it's best not to stay too long by yourself.
I prefer to be by myself than being surrounded by a pack of wolves.
Ah, that's fair too. They're not... From what I could get on the human age scale, they're all pretty young, right? I'm right about that, yeah?
Yes,
I can never tell. And I mean, from what I could get about humans, empathy at a young age isn't exactly most people's deepest strong point.
True. Depends on the person, but true.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about them, but I could see where you were coming from. Depending on the secret, it's dangerous to keep it hidden for too long.
Mm-hmm. Why are you here, Kates? I like you,
company.
but
Keep you company. No one needs to be alone when they're feeling upset. All the time, anyway. Some alone time is good, but more than 24 hours leads to a point of, like, self-isolation of which you're only thinking about the same thing over and over again, continuing to cycle into negative thinking and thoughts, and it'll eventually lead you wrong a very dark path.
sounds like you've had experience.
A little bit. I mean, I can only feel joy, what do you mean?
We both know that one's a lie.
Oh yes, bold-faced. Miss Adalaie, I respect your opinion a lot. Like, a lot. You're very wise. And you've clearly seen a lot for a human lifespan. Considering the looks on their faces, which, I have to say, that was done excellently.
It's my pride and joy.
Just the straight-faced way you delivered that. That was great. I can only hope I get that good at being so mischievous.
It's a talent.
Clearly. I don't know, it's less about comforting you and more about the fact that they're talking about something that I don't really understand. I think it's called a marshmallow?
Yeah, it's a type of sweet. You might like it.
Maybe, but they don't exactly have them being passed around right now. They're just talking about the ways they liked them cooked and kind of avoiding talking about their feelings in the way that young emotional humans do. Which is
Yeah.
really awkward for an empath who can feel all their feelings. It's just, it's real bad over there.
Yeah, that's the trouble with their generation. I gotta say, my kid's fucked up.
So you have children then, yeah?
Yeah, 2.
How old are
Not
they?
mine personally, but they're my kids.
I think I've heard of that before.
Adopting.
Adopting, yes, that's the word.
Yes. I love them to pieces, but having 2 rift children.
They both had powers then, like you all.
Yeah.
What were they like?
Well, one's essentially a bard.
Oh god.
Someone
Yes,
in
that's
Ultimate
great.
Universe, Jacob is uncomfortable.
For context, Simon's D&D character had a deep and personal grudge against bards.
Yeah.
I can
My
sense-
character was not a fan.
For context, Cassidy's character was a bard.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, going back into this game.
And the other liked to mess around with the weather.
And that sounds cool. I've never had powers that could affect anyone that, like, in the physical world, you know?
Yeah. Well, but having mania and laughter on your side, that's a pretty cool power. I'll say that.
Certainly is, though. You get a little bored of it every so often.
This guy.
Don't tell anyone, that's a secret. Shh, keep that on the down low.
Oh, don't worry.
If Catalina asks, laughter's the best power, and metallurgy and metal control, that's the worst. She sucks. I'm the best. That's all there is to it.
Fair assessment. Yeah. Mischievous little kids. Can't say my grandchildren are any better.
Do they have powers too yet? You know?
I don't know.
That would be interesting. They could be trapped through lineage.
Again, I don't know. I mean, according to Matthias, it might. You don't know his daddy.
Well, he talks about him, he doesn't seem to much like him.
Yeah.
Rift powers like a generic. I thought you had to do like an experience to get those, but if you already have
No
them,
one
there's,
really
like,
knows
heard
about
them.
anything.
Yeah.
And it's clearly not just genetic, because Adalai's children are adopted. They're not related to her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That means they have to go through like a traumatic experience, right?
Being an orphan, there might have been something traumatic there.
Whether they know it or not.
I don't know. Anyway. But I don't think you have Matthias's power of not being able to rest ever.
I wrote down a bunch of coffee. Or
Still,
equivalent of
if you're going to
coffee.
be on flight duty, I don't want an exhausted driver on flyer
I'm
on
not
wheel.
flying them.
It's a little harsh, don't you think?
No.
Ezekiel didn't do anything to you.
That's why I'm doing it myself.
Okay. I'm gonna strongly disagree there. No offense. But you are one person, a very strong person, yeah, who could probably kick my ass, sure. But still, it's not wise to do everything by yourself, even if your option is people you don't exactly like. Trust me, I had to put up with Adalaie for like a couple days straight. And once upon a time, I would have said I would have rather drowned than see his face again, so I mean...
You have sentries on your back.
I do. I do have centuries between the last time me and have spoken to now, which is good padding. It's real good padding. Because we're definitely different people.
But a person can't change within a few hours. Takes some time.
Maybe not, but I think in the mind of young humans, they can certainly change their smaller opinions and feel apologetic about it.
No one's gonna be apologetic about a stubborn old woman.
Well, that's more their fault than yours. And I don't think you should punish yourself by taking it all on your shoulders from one little disagreement. Besides, it'd be so much more boring without you there. I'd have to deal with a bunch of young humans all by myself. With only Catalina and Marge as company.
Yeah, you're just surrounded by young people, aren't you?
Just imagine their raging, emotional, hormonal charged feelings.
Sounds like a headache. And I'm
I
glad
can't,
the
I
headache is
can't turn
over.
off the empathy, so it's 24/7.
Fine.
Besides, you don't have to talk to them. Jasper's pretty big. I think you could find your own space on the wing.
I'm staying up till it comes night. We need
Okay.
our space.
If you don't mind, I'm going to hang up here with you. Get away from the marshmallow top. It's really just making me curiously hungry.
She reaches under her wing, sort of like a purse, and pulls out a marshmallow.
Kate's butterfly formed as a series of expressions.
And pulls out a marshmallow chocolate bar.
He'll turn into a person with butterfly wings so he can hold it and, like, eat it. This is actually pretty
Hold
good,
it
yeah.
as a butterfly.
And we'll drift back to the conversation in the background. Back on the Bird Central, Bird Station.
Mm-hmm.
Now the mathematical timing for a marshmallow.
Does anyone else
on
feel?
the density of the marshmallow and the size. It depends how hot the fire is. And then there's this whole equation that you have to use.
We're now finding a math equation to make it the hypothetical perfect
It's
marshmallow.
like I made a chalkboard.
Mila, at some point, will lean forward. Can someone explain to me what a marshmallow is? You've been talking about it for a while now.
Oh, okay, so you know the
For
vanilla,
marshmallow?
you know the vanilla things, the
Do you guys know the ingredients for
Strellis.
marshmallow?
Yes,
you know
I'm-
Strellis.
No Stralis.
It kind of tastes sort of like that, but in a really like squishy, soft form. And it like she'll like make the motions for the squishing, and it was if you cook it over the fire, the middle becomes like really like soft cream, and the outside gets a little hard and crunchy, and it's so delicious.
Only if you do it wrong would it get crunchy. That's disgusting.
No, not
No.
like crunchy, but like harder. You know what I mean? Because it
Crispy
holds the
marshmallow.
crispy.
It's essentially like a little cushion of pure sugar. And it's like
Yeah.
squishy, and then you get to toast it, and then it tastes all caramely on the outside, and it's super good.
Okay. Mila nods confusedly. And you've talked about it for this long. Why?
Trying to
Because
calm down
everyone
the situation.
has marshmallow toasting preferences, and some people's are wrong.
I
Well,
make a
like not in
marshmallow.
Mattie.
I make a few marshmallows.
What we're doing is calming down the situation via marshmallows.
Y'all
Does
aren't
anyone
talking
else
about
feel like a little bit bad?
Yeah.
About what?
We were kind of harsh.
I feel like she was
Like,
kind
she
of
was-
harsh too. We said
Yeah,
no.
but that with it still, we were harsh as well. So I feel like a mutual apology is in line, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But I'm not apologizing for her trying to get into my head.
All right, fine. I make the little square slightly bigger glowing square.
Just slightly big. Jasper occasionally like shakes it off his back because they're uncomfortable.
Oh,
They're just like glowing squares littering the
Tumbling.
It's just glowing spray paint? I imagined it as.
Yeah, it's kind of just like faintly glowing lines.
no, it's like a little metal square, but it just glows. Speaking of
Yeah,
things
we have
glowing, like a little like box glowing.
If we
container.
noticed Jasper's knocking these off, I would probably like go to Aron and like, hey, one of the people flying us is already pissed at us. We should probably avoid getting another one angry.
Aren't we like a
Yeah.
little like hammock thing? I didn't think you could feel it from.
No, on the bird, you're just on the back of the bird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I
We're
found
just sitting on the hammock on the back of the bird.
Oh.
You guys should all probably go to sleep about this time,
Oh, yeah,
right?
probably.
Yeah.
My sleep schedule's long been dead, so it's fine.
Aron, come on. It's been a long day. We're gonna need to be rested I'm going to get Ezekiel.
This is a fine situation. It's not that late. It's like what?
4 o'clock.
4 a.m.
Jane goes to sleep.
I go to sleep as well. Emma also goes to sleep.
How many people were already asleep?
A lot of them, a majority. Like, when you guys started drifting to talking about marshmallows and didn't look like you were about to murder each other anymore, most people were like, oh, okay, we don't have to be, we can, like, not be on, do we need to intervene in this anymore?
I forgot to like 20 other people like and like the 4 would start to beat the crap.
I mean, most of them have other conversations while you guys are talking. You guys have just gravitated toward each other. So, like, Ryan and Autumn have been sitting talking quietly to each other this whole time. Mary Kate has been reading and occasionally asking questions of Alas and Eli, and grabbing stuff that Alas apparently has a couple books with her, and she's been borrowing some of Alas's reading material.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Or, yeah.
And yeah, they've all kind of been amorously chatting amongst themselves, occasionally cycling off and on watch duty on Leo.
Oh yeah, we do have to do that.
Though mostly March has just been handling that as a familiar who doesn't need sleep. And Ava has been helping Jasper with directions. Most of you head off to sleep.
Yep.
Turn to Catalina. Was I too, like, aggressive?
I don't think there's a such thing. You have to be aggressive to get what you want.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know.
It didn't look like little old lady was giving up anytime soon either, so I think fair's fair.
Alright. I just really need everyone to be kind of on their A game, because it's a really big deal. It's my son that we're going after.
Yeah, and I'm ready to do whatever it takes. But I'm sure they'll all be ready for it as well.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know. I have a really weird feeling about this.
Share the glass.
It just... It doesn't feel... You know, my son was kidnapped. Blah, 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 blah. Shouldn't I be, like, having a breakdown at this point?
I mean, I think you've had a couple breakdowns left.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like I'm taking it too softly, though.
Honestly, the fact that you're keeping your composure is a good thing, considering you're on the rescue squad.
Yeah. Just sucks. He should be at home with his mom, going to school. And there's no reason he should have been here.
It's good to kind of keep your cool when you're trying to rescue someone. Aron says as he refuses to sleep, he just kind of lied there.
I will knock you out if you don't just go to bed. You are worse than my son.
Oh, dear Lord.
It'll rock you back and forth and sing a lullaby.
Don't. No. Alright, I'm going to bed. You think Aron has gone to bed.
I'd like to roll an investigation check to see if Aron has gone to bed.
Alright, fine.
Remember, you're not allowed to use your powers.
Oh, sleep.
It's a different move.
No, that's what I'm saying. You still signed an agreement.
Mattie doesn't really have many things he can add to investigation check anyway.
He has fatherly intuition.
That's a logos, not a mythos.
Yeah, so he could just be like, "Are you fake breathing right now, or are you real breathing right now?" I have played this game with a 3-year-old child. I know what fake asleep looks like.
Yeah. But the night goes on, unless Matthias would like to seek out any more conversation with a couple people that are awake. Does Adalaie return to the bird at some point to sleep as well?
She's gonna go to Jasper's head.
Okay. Rest lonely up there. You're asleep. Eventually, Cades will return as well. Flown some laps in his butterfly form, getting that out of his system before going back, so he doesn't torture Mattie with it.
Yeah. I don't think Mattie wants to do anything.
Okay. And the night passes. Matthias.
I don't like this game.
Nighthawks.
It's so. She just says your character's name, and then there's a long pause afterward, and you're like, "Oh no,
Suddenly,
everything's going wrong."
Oh, but thank you for predicting what was about to happen, guys. Nighthawk does. Jasper kind of rustles because he sees it first because he has night vision. As these huge, this is the first time you've seen it really up close, this huge form of the bird. It's definitely not as big as Jasper. Jasper's humongous. But it almost looks like it's plated in metal instead of feathers. Like its feathers glint a little bit.
Oh god, they're metal nighthawks.
I would like to breathe fire at it.
And squaws loudly.
Aron, who was barely asleep to begin with, is like, what the frick?
And swoops down at you, Matthias, as you glow and honestly attract the vision of something like a nighthawk.
That's fair. That's fair.
Or maybe the glowing basket we're all sitting in.
But you notice that this nighthawk has something tied around its claw.
Has a what attached to its claw? It has a what attached to its claw?
Something tied around it.
Okay.
It looks like a little box.
I'm gonna lean to Catalina. If I throw this, do you think you could get that?
Bet, let's do it.
Okay. And I throw it at where the tie is.
And Catalina will adjust it ever so slightly so the rope that's holding it in place snaps and the box falls.
Does it just plummet, or like all over the bird, or what?
It just starts plummeting.
Is it a metal box?
No.
Wooden.
Maybe we should have thought that through a bit more.
Can you bring the spear back? Bring this.
And she brings the spear back and she catches the rope on the, like there's a little ribbon on it like it's a present. She catches the bow and starts wriggling it up through the spear. Oh, that was almost bad.
Can we be careful with that, please?
Most of you are asleep.
Awesome.
Oh, we're still asleep, even with the Nighthawk.
It didn't make that much noise.
Aron was barely asleep to begin with.
And as soon as the thing is cut off of its ankle, it loses interest and flies away.
What is it?
Is Aron, who was barely asleep, does he get
it is
up
a
by
white box. It's a cube. Centimeter, like 4 or 5 centimeters tall and wide. Has a blue ribbon tied around it, keeping it closed.
Cades. I just wave him over vigorously. What is this?
It looks like a box.
Yeah, but it came off of a nighthawk. Isn't that cool?
It's a night box.
Nice.
I feel like Aron, who was like in barely asleep, just randomly says that out of the blue. It's like, yeah, it's a night box.
Go back to bed.
No, you cannot make me.
Watch me.
Okay, bigger fish to fry here. What's the random box attached to the giant demon bird?
Should I open it?
Yes.
Adalaie leans forward. What if it's a trap?
How would we know if it's trapped?
I guess we just have to open it then, huh? Let's do it. But before you do, there is a card attached to it.
I look at the card.
Written in neatly printed handwriting. Move faster.
Oh no.
Don't be a toad. Don't be a toad. Don't be a toad.
Don't be a finger either.
Matthias hands the box to Catalina.
What's in the box?
Walks over to the edge of Jasper and then vomits and then comes back.
Do you want to open this?
We kind of have to open it.
And then he takes the box back and he opens it.
Okay. Sitting in it is a small finger.
Yeah, Matthias vomits again, but this time on Jasper's back.
Yeah, what do you do?
I'm gonna go wake up the 2 Salbana chicks.
Alas and Belai, you wake them up.
Mm-hmm. You said the labyrinth was instantaneous, correct?
Yeah.
If you know how to travel it right. Do you know how to travel it right?
I've been through it once. What's going on?
I hand her the box.
Holy fuck.
So it's instantaneous.
Yeah, I mean, it won't feel instantaneous, but time works weird.
But we get there faster.
You should, yeah.
How do we go?
Well, there are 2 ways to get to Labyrinth. One is to find a door, which is hard because they are everywhere and also nowhere. The other is the summoning ritual, which you can do if you've been there before. We have,
Did she freeze up for anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
God,
Oh no.
Even the internet's like suspense is key.
Oh. Yeah, your internet was...
We got the door was everywhere and nowhere, and then you cut out.
Well, you can go there if you've been there before with a ritual.
Okay. And you've been there?
Yeah. You get, she will Alas will pull out of her bag a card. It looks like a playing card. It is a golden queen. Gold and silver in coloration.
Me as a player is like, we're not doing this again. Me as a character is like, we're totally doing this.
You can rip the card and a door will appear.
And how far are we from the Lotus tribe?
March will be the one who answers because she's been the one keeping track of progress, familiar, and she will look forward. Well, we just passed the Fandrigal Mountains, so we've made the hard part of the trip done. We have about 4 days left.
It's not fast enough. I start kicking people awake.
And showing us the box?
Matthias? What's going on?
What?
So I'm going through this labyrinth thing.
What?
You guys can do whatever the hell you want. You can come with, you can stay here. But I just got sent a finger that I believe belongs to my son. So I hand Emma the box.
Oh, I throw up also.
Jane doesn't look at it and she's like, okay, we're going. Where's Adalaie?
It's on the top of the head.
Adalaie. I walk up to her and I poke her awake.
Oh, what is it?
I reach down and I offer her my hand to get up.
She takes and gets up.
And then I hand her the box.
Oh, lovely. We're dealing with a mob.
A mob.
All right, let's do this. She cracks her knuckles.
Yeah, let's make people regret their decisions.
And then I turn to the two Sabana. How many people can you bring with you?
As many as you want to walk through the door, but it's fairly dangerous and there's no guarantee you'll make it through the other side.
I can get there as a peregrine falcon.
Maybe have a contingency. A good group of you stay behind and keep going on flight and first take Labyrinth.
I think that's fair. So
Can you come with us through Can you come with us through the labyrinth?
I mean, I think you're gonna want us there. We're the only ones with experience here.
Good. So Jasper's group stays here, and
Alone,
Hazel.
I can fly ahead a bit quicker. If I'm a peregrine falcon, I can fly about 200 miles per hour.
And I don't know how fast we're going, but that would save a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it would ensure that there's going to be someone there to receive. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a better idea. But that's dangerous.
I'll take Kate.
And then I'm going to...
I'll avoid the labyrinth. Let's go. Yeah.
And then I'm going to turn to like the other two groups. Who wants to come with and who wants to stay here?
I'm going with
Jasper, I'm sorry.
You don't get a choice, really?
Squawk once or squawk twice?
Yeah, Jasper, I apologize, but like, you're kind of the other group's mode of transportation, so is that cool?
Bird
One for
nods.
yes. Okay.
And then I turn to the others. Who wants to go with us into the dangerous place that will transport us instantaneously into a probably really bad situation where my son's finger was just cut off?
I'm coming.
I'm going to turn to Hazel.
I'm
coming with.
Time to make people regret their life decisions.
I feel like you were hinting at something. Of course I'll come.
Thank you. I could really use
Besides,
your, like...
You guys need someone who can do medical attention here.
Hazel, how long ago was the finger cut?
Can you tell?
She pulls out her hand, asking you guys to hand the box to her.
I put the box in her hand.
And she will just poke it once with her finger. Cut off approximately 2 days ago.
2 days? But that was a 4-day flight.
Yeah. Let's go now.
I'm going to turn to the only other two people I know, Ryan and Autumn. You guys are welcome to...
Ryan's already getting on stuff, getting ready to go. It wasn't even a question.
Aww.
He just looks at you and nods. I got your back, man.
Thanks.
Aww.
I did.
Pure.
And then Matthias reaches out his hand and like bro hugs Ryan.
And Ryan could not possibly look happier. Like a dog that just got a head scratch.
We are going into some deep shit.
But Cades and Adalaie, you are staying behind?
Yeah.
So fly ahead? Okay.
So it's our group. Hazel, Ryan, Autumn.
Yeah, and then because Lucille's gonna stay behind to keep an eye on Leo.
Mm-hmm.
Felix looks like he's raring to go, and then Hazel looks at him and goes, "You're like a literal child. We don't want to put you in more danger."
You've already been in.
You're leaving me with Leo then? Is that the other date? Like, You already shot me. I already died once.
I do think he is his own person in a mystical world, so I do think that he should be able to choose.
I think, Felix, Hazel says very slowly, that it would be better to leave a more equivalent amount of people in both groups, so if either of us come to conflict, there will be equal amount of people on both sides to deal with it.
That's true.
And like it or not, besides Leo, you are the only one who has mental manipulation abilities besides Emma and Jane, who are coming with our group, so it would be fair to stack the deck equally on both sides. He puffs up his cheek. Fine. And Sawyer pats him on the back. I'll stay with you. It's fine, bud. Thanks.
All right, let's go.
Hold hands.
So
I don't know how this works.
Alas takes out her card and rips it in half, and then on the back of Jasper's back, a red door appears.
Red's never a good sign.
Nondescript, a little battered over the years. It has a golden handle that appears to have been rusted.
We can't waste any more time. Jane opened the door.
Okay. And one by one, you each walk.
And make sure to
inside.
be holding Jane's hand when we go through, because I don't want us to be separated.
You each walk inside the labyrinth.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And you find yourself in a fairly well-lit tunnel.
Surprisingly calm.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Wait.
It's really wide. It's very spacious. It doesn't feel claustrophobic. And there is almost like, you know those teller booths? Say? A couple feet in front of you. There is one of those, pretty much. With a woman inside. She looks human to the eye. Very dull blue eyes and short blonde hair that is held up in oddly styled buns.
I'm gonna look at what were their names?
Loss and Melee.
I'm gonna look at Loss and Melee. What do we...
Melee will move forward. 2 previous successes here to make our way through with a bunch of new people who would like to earn passage to, and she lists off like the exact place. Lotus Tribe, Ordok headquarters, probably north by southwest, I'd bet. And the woman nods. Very well. The previous victors may take the left path. And suddenly there is a left path where there was none before.
Oh, God.
Those who are new, please take the right path.
Mattie cracks his neck, stretches out a little bit, and it's like, okay. And then
Jane grabs her bow staff, says Strellis, and follows Mattie.
I prepare the bow that has the blue stuff in it.
Babushka.
And you guys walk forward to the right path as Alas and Melee move down the left.
Oh, God. Why do we have to get
the tunnel shifts to be a hallway in a nicely decorated sort of area. It's very long. It has sort of reddish carpet.
Heard the word labyrinth. This is not what I expected.
It has every couple of feet a new door.
What if we just keep going straight?
This hallway goes on so long that it like goes past the point where your vision would see going straight.
Oh.
You want to give me a javelin?
I'll take you to take the javelin.
So Catalina probably came with
so-
us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a brightly glowing javelin.
Yes.
I just know this. Is it a bad idea to yeet it down the hallway and see how long it is?
Before we hear the kathunk sound.
How about we just make something that's not probably gonna hurt if someone gets hit by it?
Like a soft
Anything
javelin?
in here can't be good.
Or like a ball that might hurt slightly less than a spear?
I can only throw a heavy ball well.
Alright, fine, I shout at anyone down there to please avoid the bright glowing spear.
Wait, is it no, it's a bad idea. This is a bad idea, right?
Why
Yeah.
would it be a bad idea?
Like, what if it's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And I put the spear away.
Okay. And what do you guys do when faced? Do you just keep walking, ignoring the doors?
I look
Well,
at the
do the
door.
doors
I look at
have
the door to
anything
see if it's any indication of where we need to go.
They all have numbers on them, starting at 001.
Can I roll an investigation check?
Sure.
They all look the same.
Yes, it kind of reminds you of a hotel hallway.
9, and then I'm going to
This reminds me of, I don't know.
add studious
I don't like this.
to get to a 10. And
I would also like to roll.
Oh, if he's rolling 2, then I'll go with that. So 2 questions and a hard success.
Yep. Okay. Matthias?
So 11. Changing out these dice because that doesn't seem fair. So 11 plus unyielding determination. So 12. I get one question.
You each get 2.
That's it.
It was a success.
I get 2.
Okay. So we will start with Jane. What questions do you want to ask?
What is the relevance of these numbers to where we want to?
It does kind of seem like they're organized like hotel doors. They go up in numeration, even on one side, odd on the other. On closer examination, however, as you walk forward, you actually, Jane, you turn around to kind of check the other doors, and the hallway stretches on backward as well. Same amount of distance that it seems to stretch forward. And starting at 0, the numbers recount from 1 that direction too.
Ah.
So wherever I'm at, it's
0, 0,
1.
0 door?
So wherever I go, it's 1.
From the 01 door, there is a 0 door, and then there is another 1 door on the other side of it.
I want to look at the couple doors I can see. Are there any lights on? Any shadows? Any flickering?
Nope.
On the inside of the door? No.
I
I'd like to walk.
I'm gonna open the door in front of me and
Which
just
number?
peek inside. I can only wherever I walk, I'm always in front of 1, right?
No, that's not what I said.
Okay.
From the 0 door, one direction starting from 1, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 on however long you walk at that direction, and then if you walk the other direction from the 0 door, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. However.
Okay, I'm gonna open the 0 door.
Okay. It's locked.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock.
Who is it?
That's my
Mattie.
question.
Matthias Gray.
Don't give out full names. Now in this labyrinth.
Someone who'd like to ask a couple of questions.
What questions? You can do that from behind the door.
Do you know where my son is?
No, who's that?
Ezekiel?
Never heard of him, I'm afraid.
Do you know how to travel this hallway and get where you want to go?
Why would I ever want to leave?
I don't know. But if I wanted to, how would I travel?
You'd find the right door.
And how do I do that?
You make a bet.
What do you mean?
Nothing is free.
So I have to offer up something?
Of course. Or challenge.
Physical?
Or a game.
Okay.
You can make it up. You're a challenger after all.
So it's your own challenge, your own game, your own sacrifice to get where you need to go?
I mean, you're traveling as a group, so you'd have to make one together. But yes. Simply enough. Now it has to be to where you want to go's liking. Well, they won't take the bet.
How about knowledge?
No.
What do you mean?
We can bet knowledge.
I mean, you could try.
We don't know enough about this place. We can't.
But we know a lot
wager.
about. But we know a lot about where we come from.
But it has to be
too.
Yeah, it has to be where we want to go's liking. I don't think knowledge is our best bet.
Apparently you're traveling pretty far. The farther you have to travel, the harder the challenge.
And we come up with the challenge?
You come up with the bet.
So if I were to be like, I give up blank to get where I'm going. If I fail, I give it up. If I don't fail, I get to go there?
Yes, exactly. You catch on fast.
Okay. Okay, I offer up a favor. Anything asked of me to get to my son.
Anything? This is a group, so if you're making that bet, it applies to each and every soul that's traveled with you.
Anything?
No, not for everyone.
Oh, then declined, I'm afraid.
That's fine. What do we want to offer up then? I'm going to turn around.
We have 50 crowns.
Voice behind the head, do you know about the world from which we're from?
I know you're not from here, but in some ways you very much are.
Yeah. Magic reminiscent of this place. Blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
What are we going to bet?
The knowledge? If we bet advanced knowledge, does that mean we forget it?
If we bet it, it's like the pool. Whatever we put into the pool, it depends on if we get it. Have you ever played poker before?
Yes. What I'm saying is if we forget the knowledge.
So we forget we come from Earth?
That would be not good. Let's not do that.
We didn't say what we don't have to bet all of our knowledge. We only have to bet a certain thing.
It has to be to the place we're going's liking. And apparently, from the way it's being worded, it's relatively hefty.
Do trilobites exist in this planet?
But the bet is only applicable...
It's applicable to our whole group. Our whole group needs to agree on it.
Oh, never mind. I was checking previous
Favors? I don't feel like we should do favors. That seems dangerous. We could be forced to go through here again.
What 50 crowns? We all have 50 crowns.
Not with us.
50 crowns is not going to do it. Does anyone have any other ideas?
We all have rift powers.
I'm not... Is everyone okay with potentially giving up their abilities?
We're going to have to fight for your son.
What I was thinking too, but...
We all have those blue crystal weapons. We all have...
No, let's not bet those.
Everything we all have in common are pretty important.
How about if we bet our phones?
Secrets. Those have been
Those
have been the biggest stressor on our group. We bet our biggest secret. And
Yeah.
we have to tell each other if we lose.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Is everyone good with that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's better
Why
than
not?
the alternatives.
God.
Our
Fine.
deepest, darkest secret.
How about because we all have at least one red blood cell. How about a singular blood cell?
It has to be to where we're going's liking.
They probably also have at least one blood cell.
That's not what
That
it
voice
means.
behind the door. Are you the one that controls, or do we have to go to a specific door and ask that?
You can ask me. You can ask any door, really.
Are you behind every single door?
Somewhat, in some ways, I suppose.
Oh. I go to this door number 001. Hello?
Hello.
Are you the same person as the person in 000?
We are all the labyrinth here.
Okay, figured. That's what I thought.
Anyone
Excuse
have
me,
any better ideas?
Oh, God. I think secrets is a good one. Because even if we
succeed,
lose... Yeah. And even if we lose, we get... We at least become closer, I hope.
Does one of you walk up to one of the doors and say that?
I wait until everyone agrees that secrets is okay.
I agree.
I turn to
Ryan,
Ryan
Autumn,
as well.
and Hazel.
We have to tell each other, or we have to tell the labyrinth thing?
Each other.
Which one do you want? The labyrinth thing to know your deepest, darkest secrets, or each other?
I don't care. I'm just making sure we have the specifics all worked out here. I'll agree one way or another.
Aron, are you agreeing?
I guess.
Alright. There's a chance that we don't have to say our secret after all.
We could we tell our deepest secret to the labyrinth. If it denies, we say it to each other.
Yeah, we do that. That's smart.
Okay. I walk up to the door. I have our bet.
Right. What is it?
We're all willing to tell you our deepest secret.
How interesting. But I think you misjudge. You're part of the labyrinth too once we're here. We know everything we need to know about you.
We're willing to tell each other our deepest secret.
Be amusing, but it doesn't benefit me in any way.
It would be a show for you. It'd be entertainment. I'm sure it gets boring sitting here.
Not as boring as you might think. Plenty of travelers want the labyrinth's power. And plenty more get lost accidentally.
But, like, this labyrinth, it looks infinite. And you said there's plenty of travelers, but that plenty of travelers isn't going to ever take up infinite space. So it could be that you've never run into another traveler for a while.
We're all the labyrinth. It's just one thing. It's not a bunch of individuals.
True, but even if you're all like one thing, I'm sure it gets boring having the same types of travelers coming through.
It certainly gets lonely, but I wouldn't describe it as boring.
I honestly don't think we're going to be able to persuade the ethereal being behind the ethereal door from the ethereal door that we entered.
I bet that we'll win our bet.
That's not...
Oh God, it's going to cause a paradox.
You guys don't know how to play poker, do you?
No.
When you're playing poker, you put something in the pot, in the middle that you're playing for. If you lose, you lose it. If you win, you gain that and then some. Our and then some is to getting a place.
But like,
And
But it
free
has to
access to the
benefit.
labyrinth in the future, might I add.
But it has to benefit the labyrinth in some way.
entertainment.
That's not, it's already said that that's not gonna work.
I mean, that's such a short term. If you're betting you'll entertain me, I might take that bet.
No. Something that benefits the labyrinth in some way.
And while you guys are thinking about this, we're going to shift to Adalaie. Adalaie, you are flying fairly fast now, with Cades and Jasper at your heels, as well as their passengers. But as you're flying, you kind of notice that Adalaie left behind her stuff. Her traveling bag is still on Jasper's back.
I forget, is Felix over there?
Yeah, Felix, Leo, Lucille, and Sawyer. Not Lucille, Layla, excuse me.
I'm flying ahead of them, right?
Yeah.
Prodding curiosity of a forgotten bag or staying ahead?
I mean, they're not that far behind you.
Okay. Adalaie drops back a little just to sneak a peek.
Okay. There is, like, it's a traveling pack, so it's fairly well stocked in things. And like Mary Kate pointed out earlier, it is has a bunch of books in it and loose leaf papers as well that all look very, very old. But there is one book that sticks out to you. It's on the top. It looks like Adalaie has been reading it recently, and it is in gold print on the top on a plaque. Reads, "From the Mines of Fae."
Interesting. Adalaie's gonna shift into, like, you know what Cades does with his wings on his
back? Having just having back wings, and being mostly a person,
Yeah. She's gonna do that and pick it up and read it while flying.
Then I am going to send you something.
Okay.
For our audience, you will see this handout as well at some time on here, if I can get to it. I have privately sent it to you, Tele. But I am going to read it out loud. There's not much point in doing that.
Ooh, fancy paper.
Yeah, there is a couple entries. It looks like they're all like speculation things, and like this is a compilation. Most of it is actually loose leaf paper that's been shoved into the book, of mostly blank pages and journal notes. But one of the like loose leaf papers catches your eye because it is labeled in the corner, Diary of Delta. One of the Fae that you are looking for, amorously eventually.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 entries in this one, and it says, starts with 4th day of Layla Filgara, year 896 arrows. My last journal was burnt. I miss it already. All those memories turned to bitter ash and cinder, then scattered to the 4 winds. Although I suppose that was the point of the whole ritual, to no longer be bound by the chains of the past, to find freedom in starting over. Anisha was determined to make me participate in the whole ordeal. If you're one of us, you have to act like it. Her heart, for once, wasn't singing a song of hateful suspicion, but somber hope and specks of contentment. As she dragged me toward the bonfire, the air filled with the same brilliant song of hope. Everyone burned something as we danced around the fire, singing out together, some laughing and others crying. To most, it would seem that these people had nothing, that I had nothing. But in reality, we couldn't have been richer with the things that really mattered. Love, companionship, and freedom. Anisha got me a new journal. She said she couldn't think of a better man to scribe for her. It was a novel experience, to be sure, but I think I saw its purpose. My taking a job here, working under her, it put the others at ease. You'd think I'd have done enough to earn their trust by now, but I can't really blame them. To them, I'm just one more reminder of the shackles they abandoned, one more thing they wish could have been burned in the fire. Cadrith, a man with a spiteful spirit, might as well have told me so himself. He's the one to make most use of my scribing services, although most of his records were thinly veiled barbs and threats, if they're not simple excuses to get closer to Anisha. He seems rather smitten with her, after all. Anisha is far too busy for traditional courtship at the moment. That much is plain to see. But she does seem to admire Cadrith's spine and work ethic. In a year or two's time, it wouldn't surprise me if they settled down together. They are compatible. If only I could get him to see me for what I am and not some creature out of his nightmares, I'd be more than willing to aid in his romantic endeavors. They'd be quite cute together, after all, and he does seem to make Anisha genuinely happy. Though I suppose that is not but a foolish hope. Cadrith's brother, Mimir, was one of Dalaviere's. He's likely to have heard nothing but horror stories of me. That's fair enough. I remember Mimir well. His case was particularly terrible. Dalaviere used him to study the effect of joy on the human body. It doesn't sound that awful on the surface, but forcing someone to be happy, to laugh, even as they do and see things that would make one sick, is worse than testing rage, despair, and fear. Most of the Salbana in Dalaviere's custody already had those emotions in spades. Cadrith doesn't know what happened to his brother. We both know I do, but he hasn't asked. He laughed himself to death. It was sickening to hear that usually so joyous sound twisted into a pained wheezing as his breath was forced from his lungs with no reprieve. Dalaviere had congratulated me at the time, called the effect promising for use on the battlefield. Laughter was debilitating and could be terribly, horrifically lethal when used in the correct circumstance, apparently, and had been one of the worst deaths yet in Dalaviere's drive to see and categorize every inch of the human experience. One of the many things that led up to my, I suppose I'll call it a resignation, and lacking a better term for having aided in the uprising and escape of several hundred Salbana. I could have killed him. Dalaviere, I mean. For so long, I had fooled myself into thinking he was so much stronger than me, but when things actually came to blows, well, I made him laugh himself into unconsciousness. I could have done what he made me do to Mimir. I probably should have, but I didn't. I'd been by his side for thousands of centuries. He taught me and trained me in almost everything I knew how to do, and for a majority of my life, I had followed him blindly. Whatever he asked of me, I often followed through without question, and at that time, with him unconscious at my feet, so completely at my mercy, I found I didn't want to see him dead. Not because I didn't hate him or revile at the things he'd done, but because I didn't want to commit one more act of evil on his account. I didn't want him to be the first Fae I killed. I didn't want him to be worth that much. Perhaps that was selfish of me. It certainly hasn't earned me any trust, but I can't change my past. only look forward to a hopefully brighter future. I've altered my appearance to attempt to match my new frame of mind, my previous form having been left to the wayside. One more thing lost to the fire, I suppose. I look more human now. I can only hope one day I might be able to act like one too, to think like one, maybe even feel like one. Because truly that is the real disconnect. I can't emote in a way that Kadrith or many of the others here would perceive as even remotely genuine. My abilities certainly make it easier to try and to learn, but it doesn't come off as natural as I'd hoped. Mortality and the fear of death, which pervade human culture, continue to evade me. As such, so does a great many of their finer emotions and drives. It makes it hard to grasp their sense of urgency and wanting to create, to move, to innovate. That doesn't mean I can't value it all the same, though. It's the sweet season of spring at the moment. The first spring for these Salbana not under the control of East Hollow, and it's clear to me that they're thriving in it. Their Bellinarian neighbors are wary of them, but receptive, and finally it seems that better days are on the horizon. They deserve an easier lot in life. I don't know if I've earned peace yet, but I'll do everything in my power to help them keep theirs. After all, I promised Anisha that I'd protect her people, and I always keep my promises, for better or for worse. Until next time, Delta. I will save the second journal entry for a little later. But you read through that on your journey, and I think I've given hopefully enough time for our next group to think of a bet.
Oh no. We brainstormed.
We could bet a question, like they give each of us a question and we have to answer truthfully.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm gonna, as we're talking about this, I'll just lean back to the door and be like, does that work?
I know everything about you. Why would I ever want more information?
See, this is the problem.
What do they want? What? How about we ask them? What would they want?
Yeah, what do you want?
Company?
Company?
Don't you have enough with the people already stuck here?
No response.
I'm gonna turn this. So if we fail, we stay here forever. If we succeed,
if we fail, we
fail what though?
A challenge. I don't know. Then
why would you
betting.
start with forever? Ugh.
We stay here for 5 years.
No, in that time Ezekiel will be gone, Mattie.
They said time worked funny here, and no, shit, I didn't know that. It just has to be worthwhile to the labyrinth thing.
Would is 5 years enough?
What if we
back
just
to the door?
had a chat together?
Is 5 years enough?
Mortal time, but a drop of sand in a desert.
For us, it's a lot. Worth a lot.
But it's not a bet for you. It's what's worth for me. Isn't it? Maybe you're just not desperate enough yet.
No. Plenty fucking desperate. I just don't want to force these people to do something they won't. Because I'm completely fine with having to spend eternity here if it means the potential of going to save my son sooner. I know there's another group on their way right now. So, what would be the outcome of if we fail 5 years here? If we fail, we'll probably die anyways. So they'll get our dead bodies, our dead souls forever. Sorry. What do you guys think?
I wish we could give something less worthy, but I guess not. I don't like the word forever. Time works different here. We might actually be stuck here forever. We might not actually die.
Any ideas?
No.
Yeah, I think that'd be all or nothing.
Our
everything
lifetime
about
of passage through the labyrinth isn't worth forever of not living.
What?
You do realize that it's not exactly, we get free access to, like, quick travel in a video game. This is my son's life versus essentially all of ours. And I know which one is more important to me. Sorry, guys, but we need to make up our minds. Something needs to be put up for a bet. You guys decided to come with.
Did I bet my out-of-universe hermit crabs?
Unfortunately,
No.
meta fourth wall breaking hermit crabs are not currency for the labyrinth.
Oh.
Damn.
They are adorable though.
I'll bet my dog.
Again, metagame animals, out-of-game animals, are not currency for the labyrinth.
Hermit crabs
What
exist.
about real life animals?
Are they
What about real life animals? Like in game?
Do you have any?
I can.
What about like what is it?
I highly doubt you can make a functioning living animal besides the owl.
True. But I can make an owl. It's a different world.
All right,
No,
show them.
I don't
Show
want
the
to.
person Siri.
Yes.
A forever
Oh my God.
companion! A forever companion!
Forever.
It is a forever
Yes.
companion.
Matthias pulls out his phone
It's
Turns
a
it
company
on.
you want.
and holds down the home button.
You wait a little while. You wait a little while.
Siri
Wait a
was?
little while.
Hi, Siri.
Hey Siri.
Your phone doesn't turn back on.
No.
Phones that work
Damn
in the labyrinth?
Jane's phone works.
What? Maybe?
I will be pen pals with you for eternity.
I am not interested in things outside of the labyrinth.
Are you telling me that the only option is to bet us being here?
Yeah, it's all or nothing. That's how it's going to be all or nothing.
If that is the only solution that you are capable of seeing, then yes.
I'm not the smart one.
I think it's supposed to be all or nothing.
No, it's not. Clearly it's not. There's other solutions. I'm just too fucking stupid to think of them.
And I currently can't think of them either. You already have all our knowledge. We can't exactly bet knowledge.
No. But like it says, she said she wanted a company. We'll bring you someone if we
Yeah.
fail.
Bring you the guys who done did all this mess. You can make them.
Yeah,
Bring
we'll bring
you a
you
life.
we will bring you an eternal companion.
They won't be willingly, but you'll have one.
One life isn't fair exchange for all of yours.
We'll bring you 2 eternal companions.
You'll bring me one for each of you.
Eternal companions?
Companions. We'll bring you one
People.
companion for each of us.
Humans, preferably. I do find the company of Fae rather droll.
Well, that's not very nice.
Yeah, Catalina looks vaguely offended. And all
Okay,
things
but, like-
considering, I don't want a familiar.
That's also not very nice. Catalina is wonderful company.
Yeah, thank you very much. Not that I'd want to hang out with you anytime.
Don't worry, we wouldn't do that to you. So essentially, if we fail, we're sacrificing the life of someone else.
Or we can just invite them into the labyrinth. That's how it works, isn't
We're
it?
sacrificing their life. We are giving them to the labyrinth.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't count if they win. Yeah. If you're making bets of people that'll stay, you'll push people in until they fail.
We're Kingmakers. We're interesting company, right?
Oh,
so
more interesting than you know.
If we fail,
I would rather we have a chance of getting out than eternally dooming someone here. Like, it was okay
we
with
do have a chance.
Creature, but like we could do a frog or something. But like a human, really, that's like murder, and I'm not okay with that.
How it works: if we fail, we give them over. If we succeed, we don't have to give the labyrinth anything. It's not payment. It's still a bet.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, if I were to pin up the eternal soul of some other poor sap, and we failed anyways, and I delivered them to you, what would happen to us after that? Back in the same place that we were, where we want to go, what would happen?
Well, if you failed the challenge, you won't be much for anything anymore.
So it's essentially, I'm going to turn to the others. Either we fail and we lose. What it sounds like to me, correct me if I'm wrong, if we fail, we lose not only us, but whoever's poor soul we decided to put up for auction. Or, if we succeed, we all go through unharmed. So it's either us and someone, or we just put ourselves up.
Just put ourselves up.
Better if we just put ourselves up.
I'm gonna turn back to the door. If we fail, you get me.
Again, I can't trust just one of you. You're a group. It should be something that applies to all of you.
Yeah. We would be losing our friend.
And I am, and you already said yourself, I'm more interesting company than I know. So I'm worth more than one human.
We would be losing our friend.
You're not worth 6 other Kingmakers.
What about a slightly more important person, another random person? Like,
I'm gonna lean to Catalina. Actually, what happens to you if we fail?
Hell if I know.
All right.
My bet is we don't fail, yeah? We try really hard and we don't fail.
So are we putting ourselves up?
Yeah.
For future knowledge, I am counting the familiar as its own distinct entity for purposes of betting and participation.
Exactly how it should be, thank you. Turn back to Catalina.
You know what? That makes me feel strangely good. Hell yeah!
Yeah, because you are your own being. You're not connected.
I didn't expect to get this I didn't expect to get the self-esteem group in like a torture chamber, but I'm feeling pretty good.
And then I'm gonna turn to make a point, but there's no one from Althara here, so I'm just like, no, what the fuck ever. I'm just gonna turn back and be like, kind of salty that I didn't get to be like, ha, in your face, familiars are their own being. So I'm going to turn to everyone, including Autumn, Ryan, and Hazel.
Oh, yeah.
We fail, we stay here. We succeed, we go through.
It sounds like the only thing they're willing to take for bet is pretty much our lives.
Mm-hmm. Or our lives
we fail.
Someone else.
For our viewers, there's tiny little hermitcrabs on the screen right now. They're adorable and terribly distracting.
Okay.
But they're very cute.
They're surprisingly comfortable with the giant monitor screeching at them.
They're very adorable.
Alright, back to the squid.
Okay.
Anyway.
That was... Okay. Yeah. So, everyone in agreement?
Yes.
We bet ourselves.
I'll take that bet.
I figured.
The door swings open. Come on in.
And
Let's
this
go,
is
guys.
the door to where we want to go, right? This is like
This is
This
the
is the
door
door
to the
to
challenge.
the challenge.
the challenge that will lead us to where we want to go.
If you win.
Okay, fair enough. Mattie will walk in.
I follow.
Okay. And there is a sign that reads waiting room.
No.
Oh boy.
Ah,
And there's an arrow pointed in one direction, and there's a slit in the wall next to the waiting room sign, and it slowly prints out almost a number.
Oh god, we have to wait. What
If we
queue are
have-
we in? Are we like 3,000 something or something?
No, you're number 3.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
is it just one number, or do each
Yep.
of us get a number?
One number.
But who's number 1 and 2? Are we the third person that wants to go?
Are there seats?
Do you follow the waiting room sign arrow?
Yeah.
You walk down a hallway, the room widens up, and it widens up, and then you were exploded into light and color and sound as there is a huge city in front of you.
That's not a waiting room.
An
That's not a waiting
underground,
room.
cavernous city with people running around, bartering, shopping, getting into drunken street fights.
Okay.
This is the waiting room. We just have to patiently wait here.
So it's a city.
Are there any glowing big numbers of 1, 2, or 3 above? Anyway.
I have a
It's
question.
just the waiting room. All of them connect to here, and it's just a bunch of people.
Should we try just asking someone?
Yeah, probably.
I have a question on the character. Does this city happen to have any mist in it?
You know what? Sure, it has a thin layer of mist for reasons that shouldn't be possible considering it's underground, but it
I want
happens.
to say it's a city with
Of
some
mist, yeah.
Roll
But
credits,
it's not made of mist.
as far as you know.
Did you just say roll credits?
Yep.
Roll credit.
I'm gonna tap the closest person on the shoulder.
They kind of jump when you tap them and they turn. Can I help you?
Yeah, we were just directed this way, and we have this piece of paper that says number 3,
Oh,
but we
You're
don't
a
know.
challenger. The card will buzz.
You have to fight the entire city.
It will buzz
Yeah,
like a Texas Roadhouse thing.
I don't know what that is. It'll buzz. Oh, glad to. Real flashy.
And how long is the normal wait in terms of what it feels like instead of real time?
Oh, well, there's no real time here.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
So is this a
Waiting city?
yeah. How long,
long
are
is the
you
wait,
are you a
like,
challenger?
Not for a long time, no?
You were.
Once one time.
And then what happened?
Gave up.
Gave up while waiting?
No.
Yeah, that's not an option. So
Yeah.
No. I just liked it better here. I wandered in by accident, found the city, it was great.
Oh.
Got a job pretty quick.
that sounds awesome for you. Congrats, dude.
Good luck on your challenge, Adalaie. Oh, and you should stop by the madam's place if you're here. Pick up some helpful items that might help you in your whatever challenge you get put up with.
Where would
And
we find?
madam?
And he will give you some directions. Go straight down the street. It's the building in the smack dab middle of the city. It looks like a small shack. It's bigger on the inside. Don't be surprised.
Okay.
Okay. We head towards the madam store.
To the TARDIS.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're on the inside.
You guys walk towards the center of the city, where there is a small garden, and in the center of it is a black hut structure with a sign out front that is labeled very sort of in paint, it looks like, so quite messy handwriting. Madam Wei.
Madam who?
Madam Wei.
She knows the way.
Do you know the way?
Oh, God.
Sorry. Is there like an open sign on the door?
No.
We'll walk up and knock.
Give me 1 second! And you hear some clattering. And a surprisingly young-looking girl opens the door. She's very long black hair and the solid black eyes that mark her as a Saldana. She also has a full face of freckles and a very wide grin. "Ah, you must be challengers. They always send them my way. Welcome, welcome. Come in, come in." And you walk inside to the smell of delicious food being cooked on one side of the room. And she rushes back to handle like pots and things that are being cooked. And on the other side, there is like a desk with a bunch of merchandise behind it. Swords, little poultices, magic items. And there's a stairway that says rest stop, and with an arrow that points up the stairway. And then there's another arrow behind it that says healing station, also pointing up the stairway with a left arrow as well. So what brings you to our fair little city?
My son was kidnapped.
Oh, what a tragedy.
Yeah, and then we were mailed his finger.
Oh, that sounds horrid.
So we're in a rush.
Oh, I can imagine. You'll have to sate your appetite, though. Typically, the more desperate you are, the longer she makes you wait. So you might be stuck down here for a little while. No time will actually pass, mind you, up on the surface. But you'll be able to stay here as long as you like.
Good to know.
Is this still technically Althara?
I mean, I guess. I haven't really thought about it that way.
How long have you been here?
Who keeps track of time? Not me. No, certainly not me.
Do our watches still working here? Oh, Maddie's watch, is it still working here?
Yeah. It is stuck on the time that it was when you left.
I feel like the Minecraft clock nether just spins around aggressively because it doesn't know what the heck.
Yeah.
You put a bed down, it bursts into flames.
Anyway, you guys look like you could use a good home-cooked meal and some rest while you're waiting.
Yeah,
That would be really nice, actually.
Ah, fantastic. Well, I have some stew in the pot. It has meat in it. If any of you are, don't want meat in your soup, I can cook up something up. We do have some salads and things.
What meat is it? What meat can you get down here?
Well, I got especially ordered from one of the traveling.
From one of the what?
Travelings.
Oh.
People who had won, but, for their prize, they chose to be able to come in and out of the city as they please.
Oh. Interesting. And do you choose the prize at the challenge or beforehand? How did they know about the city before?
Oh, usually travelings are people who've already won once, like the city wanted to come back. But the city is especially only for challenges or people who want to stay here.
Interesting. And what, they just like bring meat in occasionally?
Yeah, Barracus meat, to be more specific. Quite dangerous beast, but very delicious.
Okay. You really shouldn't have asked for the type of meat. It's not like you'd know it anyway.
You have to cook it or it's poisonous, but you have to cook it just right. It's very poisonous, but I've been cooking it for however long I've been here, and I've never got it wrong before.
So, do you have like an ice box or a cooler or something?
Oh, that runs on magic, I'm afraid. Can't do any myself.
Do you know anyone who can? Maybe, Rune engrave this little... He's gonna turn to Hazel. Hazel, actually, do you know any way to turn this little box into a little cooler so we can maybe attach Ezekiel's little finger?
Hand it. I'll try.
I'll hand it over.
And she starts working on some great engravings for it. I think you'll, and she starts handing out food, bowls of soup, and anyone who requests stuff without meat in it, a salad filled with unfamiliar vegetables. Whatever you get does taste quite good.
We eat up. Those are rooms upstairs that you said?
Yes, rooms you can stay, and you can see the healer.
Okay. How much okay, so you have like travelers who like trade stuff. What kind of currency do you trade in down here?
Nah, currency is kind of useless down here. Considering we'd only have as many as whatever people brought down with them. Instead of an ability to forge more, or, that sort of thing. So generally we do trade, economy, barter, and usually we don't even do that. Mine is yours, mine, just don't take too much. Or I'll kick your ass.
That makes sense.
It's a pretty good, reminder not to touch stuff that's not yours if you don't ask first.
If you have a job, what do they give you for doing the job? Food?
Food, shelter, items of various value. I could be sold on the surface for some money.
So what do you get out of servicing us here?
Pure and utter joy. And also stories and things and such. I like to talk to people, and people generally like to talk to me.
Boy, do we have stories for you.
Ah, well, I'm willing to hear them while you eat. Come on.
Have you ever heard of the Kingmakers?
No, what are those?
You've been down here a really long time, haven't you?
What was the year when you entered?
What was the last big event?
Well, we landed in Runetide. Made a name for the place too. That was fun. Got chased off, found the labyrinth door, got stuck down here. But there was no labyrinth keeper at the time, so I was stuck wandering for a while. Then the keeper came, took hold of the place, and set up a city, made it real nice and organized, so you didn't get stuck here forever.
Oh,
yeah.
So used to the place by then, I just decided to stay.
Yeah, there was we're here because there was an ancient prophecy.
Not so ancient for you.
Saying that we would come and we would pick the new ruler of Althara to see if it rise or falls.
Oh, well, that sounds like a real big deal. Good luck to you on that.
Yeah.
Whoever designed the succession laws really needed to rethink their decisions, but it's a little too late now.
Oh, and we're not from the world that you know.
Oh, well, that's cool.
They also took complete strangers from a different dimension.
Yeah.
Because that's who you should pick to pick the new leader of your country. A guy who does not know that you existed.
It sounds backwards to me, but I've been up on the surface such a while, so most things from the surface sound a little backwards down here.
That sounds backwards anywhere. Surface, below surface, above the surface.
In the sky, left, right.
Up,
The
down.
reality just
Here,
beyond
lower,
reality.
Is this like the Twilight Zone?
But that
I
is-
was thinking Wonderland.
Oh yeah, it's more like that. That would make sense. The sound doesn't really travel there.
An ominous narrator talking about how this is the Twilight Zone.
Well, I should go tell Hugh that food's ready. You guys enjoy the food. Rummage around the stuff I got if you want for your challengers, so you're free of food to help yourself. Just don't take too much, or again, I'll kick your ass.
What does she have like accessible? Like what can we choose from?
An array of various odd-looking, archaic magic items. Potions and poultices, weird shining gauntlets with gemstones embedded into them.
How many gemstones exactly?
Oh, let's go 3.
Can I stop her before she walks away?
Yes, though.
So, what if I have a trade for you? Rather than us just taking all your stuff.
Well, again, don't take too much of it, we'll kick your ass. That's the whole thing. But what do you want to try, though?
If you touch it, I'll beat you up.
I mean, the prophecy thing is already news from the surfer squad, so I've already paid me in kind.
It's dumb prophecies.
It really is.
I mean, I'm sure people know about it, but they just don't talk about it. I guess they kind of don't think the surface world really matters once you're down here.
Oh, they're like, wow, that was stupid. And they just kind of ignored it.
Well, I can tell you stories and other things, but it really is up to you. I also have, she's gonna pull out one of the cocoa seeds.
Oh, plant seed. I'll grow this. That's great on you. You know what? I'll get you something from the healer. He has all the strong stuff.
Chocolate. By the way, that can be turned into a bunch of delicious sweets if done correctly.
Oh, I'll have to sell it to the baker then. She'll be real glad to get something new.
It's very rare, so good luck.
She marches upstairs, and as you guys start rummaging around unfamiliar items, trying to ascertain what value they could ever be to you, we will pull away from our intrepid heroes. There was a song on the wind. No one else seemed to hear it. The thrumming music of the mainland. It was inviting. Its voice sickly sweet. It wanted company. It was alone. The song was almost deafening. It was angry that it was alone, and it was demanding company. It was maddening. The listener was deafened and drowned in its volume. Old names were stripped away, leaving them bare and empty, with only the song to fill the drifting void. It was beckoning, shouting, whispering, pleading, hoping, dreaming for the listener to join the song, dance to its melody. The listener, however, was strong. And well, they tried to close their ears, and when that didn't work, they got rid of them entirely. Yet still the song came, and it was now the only thing the listener could hear. Then it tried to run, moving to the farthest aisle in a cave which they sealed. Yet still the song beckoned to the listener. It was a sickening temptation. But the listener wouldn't hesitate. They couldn't afford to. They found themselves sleepwalking, attempting to leave the cave and join the song. They chained themselves up and rid themselves of legs, of eyes, of anything that would aid in their escape. The listener was desperate, but couldn't remember why. Now there was only the song, screaming in their ears, growing impatient. The listener was trapped, and couldn't get to the song, however. All the listener could do was cry and scream and struggle endlessly, with nothing but the song keeping it company for what seemed like centuries. New limbs grew, replacing old. It called still, and the listener was hardly person enough to resist it this time. They escaped and traveled straight to the shield that separated the sweet song from the listener. But the listener was old, was strong. They banged bare fists against the barrier until it cracked. Victorious at last, they screeched in horror and relief as the song took over. New name. The listener would be the song's conductor, would share its sound with the world. New friends, other listeners, weaker, but still useful, gathered to them, more people to help them spread the song as much as the song wished to be spread, so that it might not be so lonely anymore. The listener closed empty eye sockets and opened with new eyes, a listener no longer. No, they were the conductor, the leader, the one the song chose. Consume, grow, repeat, the song whispered, its voice now forming words. Take, destroy, become. Yes, they answered back. Yes, indeed. They were the conductor, and they would do anything for the song. Kennethel opened its new eyes and raised its hands. Now was the time to conquer. And with that, episode 14 of Kingmakers Clock comes to a close. I've been your Master of Ceremonies, and we will see you all next time.